Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Sydney Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I'm Chelsea Duff.
And welcome back, guys, to a very fun event. What event is that, one might say? Well, as part of the, what am I? Part of the co-creator of this event, because it is my stamp. I can't even think of the words I'm using.
It's a co-pro. It's a co-pro between Spooky Tuesday and Sydneypalooza.
Both of which I'm members of the board on, so
exactly.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
And that is Sydneypalooza Presents Clowntober TwosWeeks. Yay!
What does co-pro mean? Collaborative production. Oh, that makes more sense.
Co-produce.
Which is kind of the same thing if you think of it.
True.
It is a collaboration, and it's really beautiful, and it's been very fruitful, and we're all feeling very stimulated creatively right now from this co-pro.
Everybody loves a clown.
I love a theme event. That's where I really thrive. So.
Okay. Well, if you didn't listen to last week's episode and you didn't read the title of this episode and you aren't watching the YouTube where I'm in makeup and it's a very dead ringer giveaway, we're doing Terrifier 2 this week.
Woohoo!
And if you haven't seen Terrifier 2, IMDb says, resurrected by a sinister entity, Art the Clown returns to Miles County to terrorize a teenage girl and her younger brother on Halloween night.
Resurrected by a sinister entity is a very strange way to introduce that, because it kind of misleads you about I mean, he certainly is resurrected and he's a sinister entity, but it kind of makes you think like how he's resurrected is gonna be relevant. Sure not.
Is it the little girl?
Yeah, the little girl. Little pale girl.
Oh, you think she's resurrecting him?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Because she's only in his mind. If there's a sinister entity that's not Art the Clown in the movie, the only option is the little girl.
Well,
if that was supposed to be clear.
Sienna and Jonathan can also see her.
But they're part of the magical lore. Oh my God, we're getting so far in so fast.
We're just dead diving in.
Let's go deep. Yeah.
The thing is, Terrifier 2 is such a shocking sequel to Terrifier for me.
Yes.
Because they just decided to be like, before, remember, it was just like no substance, like all pizzazz and practical effects. Now we're going to go back and we're going to rewrite history, and we're going to make a lore so complex that no one understands it. No one to this day knows. I didn't try that hard to understand it, but it's so funny how they went from like, it's a slasher with a serial killer clown to it's actually all paranormal, supernatural, just evil forces beyond your comprehension, and they're all here today working together to create this absolute abomination.
Apparently in All Hallows Eve, the like short that Art is in, it's like, or that movie that he's in, so what, 2013
short, that was the
like
inspiration.
that?
Yeah,
apparently it's heavily implied there that he's supernatural. But
I think it's in the first one because he fully dies and then he's not dead.
Well, but
yeah,
again,
only at the end though.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to think that he's just like a regular guy, you know?
Just a regular, like, really fucked up guy. Like, he's just like any other guy,
sexy.
But like really God, I forgot about how you think he's hot.
I do.
She blocked it out on purpose, I suspect.
I have a clown thing, I guess. What can I say?
You know what? I like David Howard Thornton, so I will allow it.
It's fine. I get it. But also, I don't get it at all. And I'm lying when I said I got it. I get it in that one picture that you were obsessed with from the first one.
Yeah, where he's
if
like
you recall.
frowning, holding a gun. Ah,
That's her type.
yeah.
That's all she
I love a
needs,
man
Monica.
who's disgruntled with a gun, with a firearm. I love it.
A psychopath with a gun. What can I say?
Oh my god,
That
it's
bodes
so funny.
poorly. Oh my god, I'm praying for you, girl.
Thank you. I need it.
Thank you. I need it.
That's
dead.
clear.
Maybe see
I'm
one
dead.
day a divinely profited teenage girl will come and be like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with
She'll
you?
save you. Yeah. And I
It's
believe
just
she's out there training, making her cosplay outfit already.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucked up on so many levels. Oh, All Hallows Eve is the one I've seen.
Yeah.
That's the compilation. That's the vignettes horror movie. And then the short film is also called Terrifier from whatever. I forgot about that because none of us have seen the Terrifier short film, but I've seen All Hallows Eve. Didn't like it, but he's in it. He is in it. There's also an alien. There's a lot going on in that one. It's like VHS, but more fucked up, as you might imagine, because it's got Damien Leone in the mix.
The way that you guys were talking about this movie, though, and the way that people talk about it in general is like the lore is so complex. I was expecting more lore and to really be getting into like how things work, and they sure don't do that at all. They kind of just hint at stuff.
That's why the
No.
lore is so complex, is because
Exactly.
you have no idea what really
What
is
it
going
is.
on at all.
Exactly. Sydney and I are on the exact same page. It's like the lore is so deep, there is so much of it, but none of it's on the page. There's just
And
like
it's not for us to know. And quite frankly, have
It's
y'all seen the
not.
third one?
No.
yes.
It's still
Yes.
not for us to know fully in the
You
third
don't
one either.
fucking find out. I'll tell you that. And it's Christmas.
I
So that's
liked
the
the
other
third
thing.
one, but I like these movies, so they're fun.
I was reading some articles earlier that made me small interested in Terrifier 3. And watching Terrifier 2 made me more interested in Terrifier 3 than I was previously because I liked that this movie was more of a movie than Terrifier. However, the Terrifier
yeah.
aspects of it just don't do that much for me. But I like
Gore.
Sienna. I like her shit.
I do like Sienna. I think that the addition of Sienna and brother
Jonathan.
What was his name? Jonathan. I was like, white boy's name. Jonathan. I think that they're cute and fun, and that's all well and good. Okay, David Howard Thornton is cute.
Yeah.
I'm looking at his picture right now. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. But anyway, I think I liked it better when it was less of a movie. Because it was
Here's
like
the thing.
1 hour shorter, and I liked that a lot about it.
Yeah, that was nice.
I think I also like everybody said, like, I understand just kind of like it, right? Terrifier 2 objectively is the better movie because it has a plot and like it's a full actualized movie and it's not just all gore fest for 90 minutes for like
Not just
no
cutting
real
a
reason.
woman
There
in
is
half
90
by
minutes
her
of gore fest,
vagina.
but then there's another 90 minutes of plot as well.
Yes.
By the way, I looked it up. Terrifier, the first one, is 1 hour and 25 minutes. So it's almost exactly a whole hour shorter.
Wow.
Continue, Sydney. I'm sorry.
But like this movie is fun and I am very interested in learning more of the Art the Clown backstory.
Yeah, because the fourth one's the last one. Thank God in heaven.
I thought there was going to be 5.
No, I thought the fourth one was the last one. I really thought I read that.
Oh, I thought there was going to be like 5.
Okay, maybe I'm misremembering. I know that he's gonna like rein in the lore for the fourth one, at least.
He has to be because there wasn't. Oh, okay. Okay, now it does says. Oh, oh, okay, it'll be 5 because they're including All Hallows Eve.
Oh.
Okay. I see where. Yeah, I was like, I was so sure that he was like, and that's the last one, and I was like, cool.
Oh, or hold on. This article says Damien Leone only has 2 more Terrifier sequels planned.
Oh my god.
And that article
We'll
came
see.
out after
He's got to
3.
do an Easter one. He did a Halloween one. He did 2 Halloween ones. And he did Christmas. So we don't have enough
Easter is
Easter
about
holiday
resurrection.
movies.
Right?
Fuck, it's right there. It's right there.
And it is a religious holiday. And this movie does have religious, not even undertones, overtones. It's like very heavily
Yes.
implied.
There's a savior.
There's a
She does have a
savior.
glowing wound after she dies for their sins, I guess you could say.
She's an angel wings.
She
Yeah.
she is an avenging angel.
I do think Lauren LaVera is amazing, and she like carries.
I like her a
this.
lot.
Cute.
She's so cute. She carries this movie. I think she's a great actress. She's got cartoon character eyes, and she's very fun in this. And there's like a lot of bullshit going on, but she's like, you know, earnestly feeling emotions throughout the experience. And so she really like guides the ship. So
Yeah.
I love her. Like if there's any other people who aren't as good as acting or whatever, like you can ignore it because you can just look at her and you're like, it's okay. But you know, that's the whole thing with these movies. They're a different brand of horror than what we typically cover on the pod, than what I typically watch. But it has a lot of things that I do really like about it, even though like on the whole, I never want to see this again in my entire life. But like I have seen it 3 times now, if you count the first time. Oh, Sydney, I remembered this. I was like, why do I remember this whole movie? Because I tried to watch it again before I watched Terrifier 3. So I was like, I saw this like 10 months ago or whatever. When did Terrifier 3 come out? Did it come out around Halloween or Christmas?
It came
Halloween.
out like a year ago.
Yeah.
Around this time.
I watched it a year ago, so I did know what was happening. But the first time, I also like was having PTSD from the first time that I watched this because first time that I watched this, Sydney and I were at Outback Steakhouse after having a very fun-filled day at Midsummer Scream in Long Beach. And then I got an emergency alert notification on my phone that involved a family member, and it told me that they had a spill.
We're dead, basically.
Or basically it was like they're dead. There was like the call 911. And so I had to like call every person in my family and try to track them down. Turned out to be a fucking false alarm. But Sydney and I were so scared that we had to close out at Outback Steakhouse. We didn't get to eat any food. And we were ready to like drive hours to go to where this family member was. It was so stressful. Like every nerve ending for both of us was like,
We were
and then we came
hyped
back
up on
home.
adrenaline.
We came back home. This was right after I fucking chugged one of those Outback Steakhouse shark drinks where it's a blue drink and it has blood with a shark that you pour in. So that's the
shark
state that
vomits
I was
blood.
in. Yeah. And then we got home from that debacle where everyone was fine, and we're like, let's put on Terrifier 2.
Let's have a
Something
relaxing
chill to calm us
evening.
down. Yeah, really
Terrifier
smart idea, you
2.
guys. I think really good strategy.
It's because, and we said this on the Terrifier episode, we went to Midsummer Scream and like 90% of everyone was wearing a fucking Art the Clown shirt. It was crazy. It was overwhelming. So we felt compelled that we must watch it to understand the populace of horror fans.
Yeah, and everybody.
I still don't understand.
I do. I get it. I'm on the hype now. But like art truly, I think, has become such like a horror icon in such a short span.
Yeah,
Like
no one else has got this same
Inarguable.
pizzazz in this era. I don't know, in the last like 15 years. Like this is like got everybody in a chokehold.
it's had to have been since what? Like Ghostface? We haven't really had somebody that is
A
so
new villain.
but
But
just
so
like,
prolific.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. There's obviously been a lot of great one-offs, but not a lot of like individual icons. And the thing is, that's like partly because I don't think a lot of horror movies are like doing the like iconic mass killer as much anymore. There's a lot more diversity in horror, so there's a
Yeah.
lot of different ways to be scared. So we're not necessarily seeing someone with a spooky face. We do have the black phone right now, and I think that's also a new mask that's rising to fame. But
The grabber.
there's only a second one coming out now, so we need a few more years to see how that'll go. Um, but yeah, I think this one is so iconic, and it's also like we said on the Terrifier episode last year. This movie really harkens back to like the B horror movies of the 80s. That is like how a lot of these people that are still horror fans today and like OG horror fans like got into the genre. So I think that's why it like really connects with Gen X a lot. Um and and just any horror stan who's like done their homework, it's fun to see the practical effects. It's really fun, and they're really, really fucking disgusting in this. So, like, I gotta hand it to the man. He knows what he's doing. And Damien Leone is the one fucking doing it. I respect the hell out of him. Like, he does the makeup, or partly at least.
Yeah, it seems like he does pretty much all of the practical effects himself. Like that is really his passion and his baby. I
Mm-hmm.
know he's also the writer director, so majority of it is coming from him. But he has also said that David Howard Thornton really worked closely with him to come up with like art meaningfully as a character. Um, so you can say that a lot of that is coming from David Howard Thornton. He said
Mm-hmm.
that Lauren LaVera was really instrumental in bringing Sienna to life, but he also kind of said like her portrayal of Sienna is like his dream from the page onto the screen. So
Yeah.
you could argue a lot of that is just like the writing as is. But I would say that the backbone of these movies really is the practical effects, especially the first one
100%.
where there's not a lot of plot. The majority of the movie is just moved forward by how do we get from gore scene A to gore scene B.
Mm-hmm.
And it I think it really is in many ways a vehicle to showcase those effects, and it's very effective in that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this movie was trying to flesh it out more, and I appreciated that, and I was glad that that was there because the gore is not my interest in these movies. Um, but it is impressive for what it is, but also I just don't. I mean, it's easier to watch an extended scene like this when it's like the practical effects are very cool, but it also, doesn't look so realistic necessarily in the sense that it's like I don't as I understand bodies, I'm not a doctor. But they're not like open cavities inside with just goo that you can start to mush around in. Like
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
meat and flesh in there. But it sure is horrible.
Some of it looks better than others. Like sometimes the blood is just like neon red, and then other
Yeah.
times it looks like real blood. So you're just like, was that a time constraint? Was it lighting? Was it budgety stuff? Was it just like fun, pure camp? Who's to say?
Oh my
I mean,
god,
in
it's
terms
definitely
of
camp. They're going for I don't think they're going for accuracy. I think they're going for impact.
yeah.
And it's impactful.
It's all like not self-funded, but small fundraised basically. Like they don't work with a studio, they don't get any outside money. It's just like what money Damien Leone essentially can raise on his own so that he doesn't have to answer to anybody else with his movie and what goes into the movie and what comes out of the movie. Um and
Which
I know
I have
also
mad
that
respect
they
for. You wouldn't get something like this from a main studio.
For sure,
Mm-mm.
they'd make you cut so much of it, which is why I was curious when I went to watch this movie. I talked about this with you guys a little in our text earlier, but there's the main cut that's 2 hours and 18 minutes, and then there's also an unrated cut that's 4 minutes longer. And like Monica, I was not going to watch this movie more than once today. But I am curious about what would be in the unrated version that's not in the regular version, because sure
It's
seems
pretty
like
raunchy.
yeah, they didn't. It doesn't seem to me like there would be anything that they could have included that they didn't, because it would be a step too far. Like, what would be farther than this? I don't know. But I'm not curious enough to find out.
First
So if
person
anybody wants to tell
perspective
us,
of the birth of the art head.
maybe you see more of the penis. I don't know. That would be my
Mm-hmm.
best guess.
The penis thing pisses me off. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Oh my god. Yeah, the practical effects is really what it's all about. And I really respect it, but it also goes on for like at least 45 seconds longer than I ever needed to every single time. I woke up this morning and I turned this movie on right away and I was like, this gonna ruin my day. I'm gonna let you know right now. Guess what's not a morning movie? Terrifier
Yeah,
2
both of
is
y'all-
not a morning movie.
I got
Girl,
a
I was
text
out of town.
Chelsea, and it was like
Yeah, we both were out of
6:30
town
her
this
time, and
weekend.
she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna watch it." I'm like, "Girl."
Actually, you know what I was doing last night? I was at a Screamathon. So that comes first. I was literally at Screamathon at Paul's house. So that was really fun. But I didn't make it through Scream 3. I was so sad. Our favorite.
Oh.
But anyway, then I paused it when there's 30 minutes left because I was like, I remember it gets really fucked up in the last 30 minutes and I don't need to watch that right now. And then I forgot that after my bike ride. I turned it on while I was eating my salad. You know what? It's not a good time to do while watching this movie. Don't eat food while you're watching this movie. I was like eating my barbecue chicken salad and like an acid attack was occurring. And I was like, I'm gonna throw up actually in the poopy bathroom.
Yeah,
God
with
damn.
what's her name? Brooke? Is that her name?
Brooke.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
I
it's
liked
Brooke.
Brooke. She's kind of a bitch,
She's
but I
hot.
like her.
She's a bad friend. You shouldn't dose your friends with MDMA, by the way. Hey, by the way,
I mean,
She was
unless
having
you're
a
like
good
a
time
really good
for a
friend.
minute. She shouldn't have told her that she dosed her.
Well, she's
Not that that's
literally
better,
on
but-
fucking antidepressants. Antidepressants plus MDMA could literally kill you, just like Santa was saying.
I
So
mean,
couldn't feel
I'm just
bad.
saying
She was
she
on
was
Xanax.
fine and having a
Oh, she's on
good time
Xanax, I'm sorry.
until she told her that she gave her Molly. I don't know why she volunteered that information other than to be like, see, look, you're feeling so good. And it's like, just let her feel good. You already dosed her. You can't undo it, but
Right?
don't freak her out.
It's only fine to do that in the exact parameters of the Black Swan, where Mila Kunis looked into Natalie Portman's eyes and is like, I'm dosing you, by the way. And she was like, okay.
Okay.
Essentially. But it was unspoken, but she knew. Okay? That's the only time. That's the only time. There's no other scenario where it's okay, and even that was a little tenuous. But yeah, I think that with this movie, I think it's so bizarre, the like whole prophecy part of it and how they like slowly unfold the story of like this family, right? The main family, Sienna, Jonathan, and the mother, is that Barbara?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Yeah.
think so.
And like when Brooke later on in the film like reveals the backstory for that, it is so much more fucked up than I thought it would be. Like, yeah, he's dead. I was like, there must be something that happened to the dad. Like, what was it? Oh, he had a brain tumor that turned him really mean and horrible, and he beat up his whole family and then he killed himself. That's
Right.
Terrifier for you. They're like, we could have a story, but let's make it the worst story ever told. That is just like, it's just torture porn.
Let's make it really bad.
I really thought, based on the way that everybody's talked about the lore and the way that the story was going for a second, that there was going to be some sort of reveal that Art the clown was the dad.
Okay.
It seemed like it was going that way for a second there, and it felt
Could still-
like, I mean, it could still, yeah.
it
It
could
felt
still.
like that was going to be relevant because also obviously we never see his face with, I mean, maybe we see his face a little bit in the first one. But in this one, we don't see his face without the makeup. So it felt like he could be, a completely different person under there that they would recognize and not recognize in full art costume. But I don't think they went that way. I think the dad had a brain tumor that damage
Made
to
him
the
see the
part of his
future.
brain that made him not able to access other realms, and so he could see enough to know about art and have some sort of vision into how art could be stopped. I don't know, whatever.
No one knows. No one really knows for sure. That's for sure.
I do think it's interesting that you guys are saying that the little girl resurrected him. And that if that is what is supposed to have happened, I wish there was a little more of that in the movie because I did not get that at all, other than having watched the movie and then reading the log line. It's like, okay, I can
That's
see
what
how
I
it would
did.
be her.
That's what I did. I watched the movie. I
Well-
had zero thoughts the whole time, and then you read the log line, and I was like, "Oh well, it's the little girl
Well-
who must have resurrected him." That's all I did. Don't worry, there's no secret.
For me, I kind of assumed at the end in the credit scene.
Is there a post-credit scene?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
It's
didn't watch it.
gnarly.
What? You didn't watch it? Go watch it right now.
It would have
It's
been helpful
literally
if somebody
5
had let me know
seconds.
there was one, but as
It's
soon as
not
the credits start
post- it's
rolling, I
not-
went, it's done. Thank you.
It's literally 5 seconds into the credits. That's why I didn't
As
say
soon as the
anything.
cast popped up, I went, all right, it's over.
And we're done here.
And we're done here. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh my
But-
god. Well,
So throughout
you
this
had already
film,
watched it at the time that I watched it.
throughout this film, we see the little pale girl's eyes glow a yellow color, right? Like all throughout
Do
the movie.
his also do that, or am I thinking of Pennywise and It last week?
You're thinking of Pennywise because it's just the little girl's eyes that does it in this movie.
Okay.
Oh, I see
And-
where you're going with this. Keep going.
And then if you would have seen the post credits, we have what's her
Which I'll
name?
pull up now.
Yeah, watch it first. Watch this, and then we'll continue.
Yeah,
to
watch
talk.
it and then we'll come back. We'll come back. In the meantime, Clown Cafe, Clown,
Clown
Cafe.
Cafe.
Everyone go to the Clown,
Clown
Cafe.
Cafe.
Sometimes it makes you feel gay. Everyone go to the Clown Cafe. I don't remember the rest of the song. Something about the food being weird.
Yeah, but I have been humming.
The food is funny. That's what they say. 'Cause clowns.
Food is funny because it makes you gay. I made that part up.
I wish that was the song. Okay, I'm watching. Gross. Oh, long post-credit scene.
Yeah, but it also sets up Terrifier 3.
Oh, she's singing the Clown Cafe song.
Clown Cafe.
Well, I'll wait.
Everybody's gay.
Everybody's gay at the Clown Cafe.
I did think that there was a suspicious amount of minutes left after the movie was over, but I was just like, okay, now I can leave.
Like, what could it be?
Okay, all right, I'm ready to continue the discussion.
We're jumping to the end, right? So,
Yeah.
after Sienna decapitates Art, and her and Jonathan are like, "Oh my God, we're alive!" And then they turn around and little pale girl's there, and then she just picks up Art's head and disappears. And then we get the end credit scenes, and is it Victoria, Vanessa?
Yes.
Yeah, Vicky
Vicky.
is what she writes on the wall in blood.
We see her eyes glow
Just one
Yes.
eye glow.
because she only has
Well,
one.
no other eye.
But so it is, and so here's the thing: the backstory for the little pale girl is we briefly see, like in Sienna and Jonathan's dad's journal, a news article about a little girl named Emily Crane,
Mm-hmm.
who
Mhm.
got murdered at a carnival, which
Yeah,
was
she got,
this
like,
This
carnival,
very
ripped
carnival,
apart.
in fact.
which also ties back into the first one, the lady who had the little baby doll all the time, who was like, my daughter
Oh,
died.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be Emily Crane's mom.
Oh.
So it like
Okay.
ties kind of
Okay, I like that
everything
actually. I
in.
do like that.
But so some kind of evil entity spirit has taken the form of Emily Crane, who some people assume is like Art the psychopath's first kill. And then later we
Mhm.
see, you know, like as soon as he's resurrected again, that's when we start see, like as soon he's resurrected, and that's when we start seeing like the little pale girl. And then at the after she takes the head, and then we see Vicky, and Vicky's eyes start to glow, the same as the little pale girls. So whatever was like possessing Emily Crane now was possessing Vicky to like resurrect Art, basically.
Or Emily Crane is possessing her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
Or
like,
they're
yeah.
both demonic creatures under his influence or whatever.
Yeah, because it's not,
I
this is just
think-
like an assumption. Like nobody really knows what's going on fully.
Yeah. So Vicky is a much bigger character in the third one.
Okay.
So she like kind of like takes on a voice of her own, but like yeah, it's a little muddled because she killed Monica Brown
Mm-hmm.
before being possessed by Emily Crane's spirit or whatever the fuck, no one knows.
Before
So
she
like
gets
I
glowing
think
eye.
Yeah.
yeah, before she gets glowing eye. That was like before. So that might just be because she's fucked up and has, I don't know, murderous trauma from her experiences the year previous. Which like, you know, to each their own, you know? She went through something terrible. But yeah, I wish it was like more seamless where it was like she was under this spirit's um spell. But that's the thing. That's the problem with Terrifier movies. And it's not the problem with the Terrifier movies. Like there aren't any answers, like really, and like I don't know. It feels like it's like one of those like the story was written after the movie. You know what I mean? Like the first movie
Mm-hmm.
came out and then they're like, it's like it's all like a big magical retcon. I don't know. It went from like 0 to like I don't know, like a Leprechaun 5 in space, I feel like
Right.
immediately. You know? Like it really jumped there right away. But like I like those type of movies too, but there's a more of a silliness with those than with these. I think for me, like the tone just feels a little all over the place in these movies, and the gore is so gratuitous that like it goes past it being funny for me, and then I just feel like kind of like freaked out. Like I'm not like, haha, it's not like a splatter gore movie. It is a splatter gore movie, but it's not like a splatter gore movie where I'm like, haha, and the monkey, his head blew up and it was super gross. Like, or punchline gore is what I'm trying to say. This is like, it takes it beyond the punchline. It beats the joke to death. And so, like, it's really well done and it's really gross. And that's like the whole point. But it's just like, that's not my favorite. So I'm just like, I'm gonna throw up. And there's so much poop. There's so much poop. I don't
Less
ever
poop
want to
in
go
this
in the
one than in
Halloween.
last one, which is something.
That's true. I think it's crazy. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first year of Halloween Horror Nights that they've had a Terrifier?
I think
Maze?
so.
I think it is.
I think it is.
This They literally made this movie, Terrifier 2, so one day it could be a Halloween Horror Nights ride. Like they didn't. But like I do like that aspect of the movie that it all the big exciting ending all takes place in like a horror maze. I think
Called
that's fun.
Terrifier.
Called Terrifier,
That's
exactly.
what confused me. If you guys remember on our Terrifier episode, I was like, okay, I've seen something promoting the third movie that made me think the Terrifier was a place that they'd been, and I thought maybe it was like another realm or something. I don't know. Um, but then I was like, wait, the title is just about how this movie is terrifying. There's not anything more to the title when we did the first one. And now that I see this one, I'm like, okay, Terrifier is a place. It's just not what I expected necessarily, but it is interesting to see the way that they kind of pivot.
Well, apparently
Yeah.
that like haunted house thing is a real place in Pennsylvania somewhere, I think.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it really called the Terrifier is what I want to know though.
That probably not, but I hope so.
It's a fun inspiration.
Here are my thoughts having watched the post-credit scene on the resurrection concept. They're not fully collected thoughts, but in the post-credit scene, we see Vicky essentially giving birth to Art's head with her glowing eye, and we see her previous to the actual birth with blood dripping out of gushing really out of her body. You don't see exactly from where, but given that she's about to give birth, you can imagine. And she's using that blood to write all over the walls, blah blah blah, Vicky plus Art, cunt, horse slut, etc. And then she gives birth to Art, and he's resurrected or on his way to being resurrected. If the little girl is the one resurrecting him, we meet her after he's come back to life, but when we first meet her in the laundromat scene, we see her sitting on the chair separately, and then we see blood coming out of her body, dripping onto
Yeah,
the
the, like,
floor. And
black,
again, you
poopy
don't really
blood.
see where in her body it's coming from, but certainly it's easy to make your guesses. And I can see how that could be sort of a birth sequence, if you will.
I
And
don't want to go there.
but I feel like it is unavoidable to go there. And that's part of what I didn't really understand. I understand more now, maybe what that was, if that was part of the resurrection, um, and if that is part of the process. And I maybe like it small more now if it had some sort of plot logic or purpose. The fact that it is a very little girl, I think obviously is a very complicated aspect of it. And it's from what I read, I didn't read that much from Damien Leone specifically because I have beef with him that we can discuss later, but I'm discussing it small now. Which is that it seems like he came up with Terrifier 2 and Sienna's character specifically in response to allegations that the first Terrifier is a misogynist movie all about the torture, in many ways sexual torture, of women who are being made to be naked and sawed through their vaginas on screen. And so he was like, oh well, I'll give you a female protagonist that you can root for, who can be triumphant, who also is special for plot purposes. And I'll take it. Believe me, I'll take it, and I'm happy to have it. But I don't think that that still negates the treatment of women in this movie. And the sexualization of teenage girls in this movie is still weird if you're trying to beat the misogyny allegations. And the fact that Allie's death, so much of it, she's just in a bra and underwear. And again, I don't know exactly how old these teenage girls are, but I certainly am not always in my bra and underwear when I'm putting my makeup on. You know what I mean? Like it was not necessary for the scene for her to be in her underwear and also a teenager and also
But
being
that's
tortured the whole time.
I agree with what you're saying, but it's also again a movie that is harkening back to the movies of the 80s where everyone was in their bras and their underwear being killed and they were teenagers. And I'm
And
not saying that
IMDb
that
says
was
there's specifically a
okay.
reference to Halloween at one point, so I will allow.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that was great either, but that is what happened and that is true. Yeah, I agree with you. That was something that really bothered me about this movie too, is because of all of the course corrections that he tried to do. Like, they're so silly to me. Like, the whole just the tip dick thing, the whole thing with the boyfriend, Brooke's boyfriend. He is wearing the just the tip shirt, and then he's out there and he's peeing and whatever, and his dick gets chopped in half and whatever. Now, that was supposed to be the response to the kill from Terrifier, the first one, where the girl is sawed in half. And I'm like,
You're like,
the way in which that is not the same thing is so obvious to me because it's so
oh no,
that
your
one is
dick
so
got cut
quick.
off.
I know.
Mhm.
Well, it's fine. Like I'm sure it made guys feel uncomfortable.
And
I'm
we didn't
sure
even see
I
it.
didn't love to see it, but yeah, it was so long, drawn out, visceral, sexual with the first one with the woman being sawed in half in the first one. And this was so just like not to the same extent. This was like comical, just like quick and not nearly as like in your face. So much so, Chelsea, that he tried a third time to get it right in Terrifier 3. There's another scene where this is 100% him being like, okay, well, this one will be the equal to the first one. And that one gets closer. But like he's really trying to course correct, but in doing that, he gives you a naked teenager lead who gets like ripped to shreds with little knives for 45 minutes straight as she's like not wearing anything but her little leather skirt, which looks really cool and she did a really good job on it, but she's got so much skin that you see ripped apart viscerally. It's also just like hard to watch, but she's the final girl in a horror movie. Bad shit is gonna happen to her, but it's just the way things happen to people in the Terrifier movies is a little more visceral than the average horror movie, maybe.
It's very extreme. Like this movie
Yeah,
is gore, right? Like that
it's
that
gore.
is the scare for this movie, right? Like it's not like there's no psychological thing. Like it's
You get a little unsettling stalking with art, a little bit for Allie and for Sienna, but you're right, that's not the prime takeaway.
It's the whole point is to be like, wow, is it gonna go there? Oh, it went there. Oh my god,
oh
and
my
it
god,
didn't
It's
stop.
still going there. Oh my
It's
God.
still
12
going
minutes
there.
later, it's still going there. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes you past the point where you ever thought that it would go. And sometimes it's fine and it's okay. And it's just funny gore and it's cool done. I loved Ricky. I think that was his name. I didn't
Yeah.
want him to die because he was a nice man. But like there was nothing like psychosexual sex torture about his death. And I thought it was funny when he was Art was holding his
oh
head
yeah, and the
and
little boy
pretending
just
to be the
Mhm.
animatronic. I thought that that was really funny. And so there's some like comedy there, but it's not lost on me that like he's a black man being killed on the screen and stuff. So it's never great ever. But like what ends up happening with all the girls just goes so far beyond that. Like with what were you saying? The first friend's name is
Allie.
Allie.
Allie. Allie's one is just like, oh my God, I really have a hard time watching that part. That's when I texted you earlier. Sorry, Sydney. I texted Chelsea and I was like, I hate this movie. And I was like, sorry. I need to say that because it's my least favorite part. And it was her death. I just like really have a hard time with that one. Though the mom's head as the candy bowl
Bull.
does fuck.
Yeah,
That
that
does fuck. I'm
is
sorry. That's
pretty
cool.
gnarly.
But yeah, I just like, and then like later on with Brooke's death, where she literally gets like the acid put on her face, and there's like a history of
Yeah.
women
Oh,
being
yeah.
abused by men with like bring acid being splashed in their
Acid
face like
attacks.
that, acid attacks, and it like, so like we know about that. We know about that, Damien. And so
And
it
that
doesn't exist
still
in a
happens.
vacuum. It's yeah, it still happens all the time.
Like, I saw a
And it's
TikTok recently of a woman who was just like in the hospital because I think like her
yeah,
boyfriend threw acid on her face.
yeah, there's a girl I follow who's been in recovery from that and like on like getting reconstructive surgery. Like it's a thing that happens in like domestic violence situations and then also just random
And
fucking
random
shit
people
too.
will
But
do it too.
exactly, yeah, but it's like feels like a gendered attack a lot of the time, and it's
Oh,
I'm sure it
100%.
happens to a lot of people, but a lot of the time it's happening to women because it's like taking away their pretty face or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's just like it's things like that's these little details they just start keep adding up. They're adding up. They're adding up so much. And so it still feels misogynistic to me, unfortunately, Damien. I know you tried, but I still felt really bad at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm prepared to get into my beef now.
Okay.
Because it feels a little relevant to his need to respond to everything. You're saying like, oh, he has these misogyny allegations, so he does the dick scene to respond, and they still didn't get it right, so he tried again. And I don't know. I think it's interesting. Men do die in these movies, and they die horribly, and they die sometimes in extended scenes. Not as extended as the naked women scenes, for sure.
For sure.
But I can see how he's trying to be more diverse by including a black person in this movie.
Mhm.
And he has a quote that basically is like, you can't really make a horror movie these days without offending somebody as much as you try. Um, but also
Yeah.
I remember that there was like controversy with him earlier this year. I looked up what it was because I couldn't quite remember. But it was like in February. Both Lauren LaVera and David Howard Thornton had made political posts or were just like talking about politics in general. I don't know if they said something about Trump specifically because that's what all the articles were referencing, but I couldn't find what they
Oh,
said other than David
I think
Howard
I
Thornton
heard about
basically
this.
standing up for LGBTQ people and being like, you can't be a fan of mine and also hate this community. If you're gonna hate this community, get the fuck out of my comments.
Slay.
Um, which we love. But then Damien Leone felt the need to also engage by basically saying, I'm not political and my movies aren't political. And Lauren LaVera and David Howard Thornton can say whatever they want, and that is their right. And I believe in free speech, but I'm not doing that. And it's like you're going out of your way to say
Could have said
specifically that
nothing.
you have nothing to
Right.
say. And it seems like, from what I can tell, because Lauren LaVera and David Howard Thornton were being so political Republicans who watch the Terrifier movies or maybe worked on the Terrifier movies were feeling unwelcome. And so Damien Leone was trying to be like, no, everybody's welcome here.
Mm.
But it kicked off this whole other horror shit show of
Shitstorm.
discourse about horror being political, which it is, as all art is political,
It
because it's all
is.
reflective of the world that we live in and the stories that can get told or people choose to tell and what you focus on. And I just think he's interested in making movies that are, quote, purely entertainment, that have nothing larger than that to say, which, okay. But what he finds purely entertaining is a 12-minute scene of a teenage girl in her bra and underwear getting gruesomely murdered. Like, that is the longest
Your
scene in this movie.
skin
And I
isn't
understand from
off.
an SFX standpoint that it is like the masterpiece. And so I understand that that is probably where he's coming to it from as an artist, but
Mhm.
he's not understanding that he's bringing all of these things into it with him on purpose or not, they're
Yeah.
there in the movie. And that speaks for
Mhm.
itself in many ways. And the fact that you didn't do it on purpose is maybe more interesting, because it says things about you that you don't
Mhm.
even realize you're revealing.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I don't know. I just like Lauren LaVera and David Howard Thornton seem great, and I remember the two actresses from the first one interacted with some of our posts on our social posts about
Yeah, that was really
Terrifier,
Yeah.
cool.
and I don't know if they're both queer, but it seemed like they're both queer, and they certainly were supportive of our read of the characters being queer and in gay love together or gay friendship messiness together. And so that is great. And I think is a shame that Damien Leone is so committed to his movies being spiritually empty.
Yeah. It's just so hard. And sorry, I don't want to. I don't want to be a shit parade on your birthday pick, Sydney. So we will talk about fun
No,
kills and
because I
stuff
did
like
think
that
it was a
after
lot more
this.
fun than the
It's
last one.
definitely
No, you're
there's
allowed
definitely
to
fun. There's
ship parade
definitely
on
a
it
lot.
because like it is
I'm
fun,
ship rating
but
on Damien
also,
Leone.
you know,
Yeah, it's just so it's hard to watch this movie in the context of all the interesting things that are being said in horror in the modern era. Like, it's a really cool thing about horror. So you can not like it or like it. It's totally fine if you want to just like have like the schlocky fun stuff or whatever. That's totally fine too. I love that shit. But there's so many horror movies that come out today that are saying something interesting and that are showing something differently, just showing like what can scare you and all the myriad of things that could cause that. And it can get so political, especially in our modern era where it's scary to just be alive because of the politics of the age. And it's hard to go from watching a movie that's like saying something with its full chest and has a fucking thesis statement to a movie where it's like ha ha ha, and
here's
it's
the
like
thing, though.
accidentally hitting on all these fucking trigger points that are fucked up and he doesn't understand that. Like, that's just really frustrating.
I don't know. I
Like,
don't
and not
need every movie
has to be
has
it.
to say something. Like it just doesn't. Like this
Yeah, I
is
don't no, I
actually
agree.
like maybe I'm problematic, but like it doesn't bother me at all, actually. Like I didn't care because it was still like a really creative, cool like kill that when you looked at it was just like, what the fuck? Right? Like, so
Yeah.
I didn't be like,
Do you mean that acid one or which one are you talking about?
all of them, every single one of them.
Okay.
Like,
Just
Yeah.
the nature of the effects and being able to pull that off as an artistic
Yeah.
medium.
yeah, but it's just like her being sawed through the vagina. I'm sure some people read it as like he hates women and he's cutting a vagina and blah blah blah. And I was just like, holy shit, that is gruesome as hell. Moving on. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
and that's the
sometimes like
intention
you
for
don't
sure.
have to read into things all the time. Like you just
No,
don't.
I totally
It's
agree
just
with
like
you.
how
I just
so many of the people are like, this new Taylor Swift album is a trad wife alt-right pipeline. Like, okay, girl, like what are we talking about here?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a thing. Art is open to interpretation, and so it's going to be received by everyone differently. So I can't help the way that it makes me feel, which is uncomfortable. And like, I know that's not the cool answer
But here's the
necessarily
thing,
because
it's
it's
supposed to
fucking
make you
sick shit on the
uncomfortable.
screen. No, I know. I just never want to see it again. It's okay. We're not fighting. I
No.
just don't. We just don't, like, had different experiences with it, and that's the thing. It's like, it's not what I'm looking for in a horror movie, but I can respect the art and the artistry that went into the practical effects of this movie because they are top notch and they're doing something really fun and it's really effective. And when the bubble popped on her face after the acid attack, it was cool.
Well, I read something like Allie's kill was maybe one of the like most difficult ones that they've ever shot because they had to have like a mechanical puppet in there as well, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
moving
When
and
she
doing
comes
stuff.
back alive or is still alive somehow after being eaten, she's like 90% eaten and she's still alive. Oof. crazy.
Yeah, I
Crazy
think
sauce.
they're very much a feat of practical effects and SFX and horror makeup in general, and they're very impressive from that sense. And like I said, I liked this one a lot better because personally, I was thinking about this a little bit earlier. I think in my horror movies, I either need it to feel like a meaningful story, not political necessarily. Although, like I said, everything is just political by nature of being reflective of the world. But they either need to feel meaningful or I want some sort of triumph. And so this movie, you get a triumph with Sienna. And so that to me was more engaging than the first one where you just feel bad and it's not necessarily
That's
like
true.
telling someone's story in an arc that makes you experience a journey. Like I said when we covered that, I see why people like that because people who are into the practical effects specifically and that's their interest, it's amazing. It's a feast for them. I like to see it. I'm more of a character arc, character journey kind of person. So it was hard for me to like tap in there meaningfully. Whereas I could get that more here. And I liked that more here. And like I said, it made me curious since we're doing that more, to see what they're doing in Terrifier 3. And the gore doesn't like bother me. It's not like so gross that I can't watch it or whatever. It's like horrible. And so I mean, you guys saw me while I was watching the post-credit scene, so you know that I was making faces. But it's not like I ever need to like cover my eyes and look away. Like it doesn't have that effect on me.
Yeah.
But it's just it's not where my interests lie. But I think it is just interesting. And I'm curious. I like I said, I have beef with him, so I was not going to sit through the director's commentary. But I'm curious to know a little bit more about what he thinks of the Sienna storyline and why that was the focus of the second one beyond being a response to misogyny allegations. And I am willing to allow for him to not have a misogynistic perspective. But I just do think it's interesting, like what scenes or what characters he's choosing to focus on for these extended kill scenes.
Totally.
I do think he likes Sienna a little too much because, like, this movie is so unnecessarily long. Like
the montage of her doing fucking cosplay, I respect the hell out of her, but we could cut that in half, I think. Save a few minutes there.
Right, like, and there's like certain things too. Like one of the things that I did like about the first movie, other than this one, is like Sienna is literally given plot armor, right? Like, you know, or like you just kind of have a gut feeling like nothing's gonna happen to her because they've paid so much focus to her. Whereas, like, in the first movie, again, bad things happen to our two main girls, but like you don't know if they're actually going to like make it out of it. And but like she's literally in this movie given actual armor in this, where it's like, okay, like
she's given video game character armor, yeah.
But like
bra and panties armor.
Exactly. Very Valkyrie like.
I'm not saying I don't like it, and I'm not saying I don't see where it comes from, but I just think, again, it's interesting to be like, I'm doing a strong female character, so I'm giving her strong female comic book character design, and it's designed by her dad, and it's very sexually revealing.
Right? I'd be like, Daddy,
I love that part.
What?
I love
Which
that
is
part.
so funny because I feel like when I saw this sketch for the first time, I was like, oh, that sketch looks like the mom. And so for him to design a sexually desirable character based on his wife makes perfect sense to me. But then they're like, he designed it for you, Sienna. And when we learned that he designed it for her when she was a little girl, that made me understand it more, because it's not like he saw her as a 15-year-old and was like, I'm gonna draw her with big boobs and a tiny bra. It was like he was doing his image of what he thinks an empowered, strong, fighting woman is like within the medium of all of the other video games and comic books and superhero blah blah blah, where these are the tropes. He's in conversation, the dad is in conversation with the things that have come before him. He's not doing anything that's like not already, it's not, he's not sexualizing his daughter, and he's the first one to ever sexualize a heroine character, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure. But again, these are all choices that Damien Leone is making as the screenwriter. So those are his to bear.
But he's like, no, man, it's fine. Don't worry.
Don't worry about
It's
it.
fine.
Everything's chill.
I'm actually not saying anything with it.
I'm not saying anything at all. I don't even have any thoughts about it. Just view it. That's the part that I
But she
think is
looks
funny.
good. She looks hella
She
good.
looks so
Yeah, she looks
good.
great.
She's so cute. I love the like silvery eye makeup that she has.
Very
Like the cuts
Kesha.
over her eye. Very Kesha. This movie is so 2017. It's crazy. Or not 2017. When did it come out? Was it
Came out
2017?
2022.
2022.
22.
That's
When
part of
did
the
the
thing with
first
the
one
alley
come out?
scene, is they got like shut down during COVID at one point. And then he had like an extra 2 days that he wasn't expecting to be like, "Ah, I'm gonna retool the scene and we're gonna do all this other stuff with it that I didn't even
Now
think
we're gonna
about,
make
and like
her
blah blah blah."
still alive.
I think he
That's
just
so
like he put his whole pussy into that scene, and that was his focal point, and that, you know, got a lot of attention in the horror circuit. And I think that scene kind of just bloomed beyond whatever it was meant to be originally. And I think as one of the like big set pieces of the movie in terms of him flexing his practical effects muscles is very impressive. But again, just the choices that you make in that scene are just interesting to me.
Did
Yeah.
y'all see the cameo from our girl Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp?
Yes, the principal.
Yeah, I wish she was like, part of me kind of wishes maybe she played the mom a little bit, like give her more of like a bigger role, but I loved like seeing her pop up.
Mom.
Yeah, the mom to me was like, I don't know if it is the acting or the writing, but it's very one note.
Yeah, something was
Yeah.
something
Until they
wasn't
had the I
right.
love you moment. And then I was like, finally, we're having a moment of genuine emotional connection between characters here.
Well, I wish that's the problem. If you emote authentically, you get your head blown up. So you can't do it.
True.
So you can't do it. Sorry. That's just how it goes. Sorry, Chelsea. Learn that
I
now.
liked
Don't
that
you
he
say something
was in the
emotional.
car. Because I had the thought 1 second before he was revealed that I was like, oh, you actually can't see in basically at all. He could be in there. So I thought that was a fun thing to do. They did fun stuff in this movie at many times. Sometimes they did something fun for 7 more minutes than I needed them to be doing it. But they were doing fun stuff.
Or I was just gonna say, I just didn't need to see like art playing in all like every dead body's guts, because
That's his thing, I guess.
But here's
or
the thing,
whatever.
throughout the movie he does
Slightly
that,
Put
cannibalistic.
mashed potatoes in the face.
but like through that, right, he's like playing with it, everybody's dead, and then at the end where he like boinks Sienna and stuff like that, he just like walks away, doesn't finish. Know what I mean? Like, you could have finished her off. You didn't. That's
Okay, don't say
uncharacteristic of you.
boinks, Sydney.
It's a
Boinks
little
means
boinks
fuck.
adjacent, don't you think?
Yeah.
He penetrates her
means
with
fuck.
that sword
He just went boink.
in a vaginally shaped wound that glows and bleeds and is
Chelsea,
special.
it doesn't mean that. I asked Damien and he said it doesn't mean that.
He said actually doesn't mean anything at all. You don't need to worry about it.
Doesn't
Please
mean
move
anything
on.
at all. And it doesn't
Well, it
mean
did
anything.
kind of
And
remind
don't
me
have
of
any
like
thoughts about it.
Christ's wounds. So I will say that's
And
something
that's
as
great
well,
because
I guess.
that's a big theme in Terrifier 3.
Christ.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What? Oh, well, I mean,
I guess
it's
if
Christmas.
it is the Christmas movie, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I've like blocked out a lot of that one. There's something I want to say about it so hard right now, but I don't want to like spoil it for whatever else. I don't. There's some choices that are made in that where I'm just like related to the like it ending on a high note thing. I'm like, why couldn't we keep that going? But what was I gonna say? Oh, you're talking about how things like went on too long, and you're seeing them play along in the guts too long. There was another part where I thought it went on too long, and that was "Come on down to the clown cafe." That was the longest sequence of all time. It was so long, and also I just want to note that the end sequence, after credit sequence with the nurse that we were talking about, that nurse is the girl who's singing the Clown Cafe song.
That's fun.
And I just recognized her. I was like, her voice sounds very similar when she's humming that song. Anyway, I looked it up. It's true. But I think that what an interesting dream sequence. That is very Pennywise, actually. That feels very it because it's the same. It feels like all the parts in it when we like walk into somebody's apartment and the TV's on and they're playing the fucking
Come join us
like,
in the sewers. It's so fun to be in the sewers.
Kill him.
Kill
Kill him.
It's like exactly like that, like a children's TV show kind of thing. Yeah, I just and it's so like parts of this are so Freddy Krueger too. Like the interplay between the dreams and reality, like that is a very overt. But then like something about like the cereal, obviously the little boy's eating the cereal in the clown cafe, but Jonathan has that cereal that he knocks on the ground, or
His
that
clown
Sienna
cereal.
knocks on the ground, and that like is the clown cereal too. I do hope that in the fourth one we find out why it is connected to their family, just because it annoys me that I don't know. But maybe we don't get to know.
Right? Like,
But
I
I
want to
wanna know.
know, was the dad, like, because the dad had a sketch of art, the dad had a sketch of some of the people, like the two guys that were
Blonde
killed
girl
at the
from Terrifier 1.
the two guys killed at the pizza shop in the first one. Like,
Yeah.
did he get a brain tumor and then see visions? Like, you know, did he go, what is it, like religious psychosis, but with Art the Clown a little bit?
He got AI psychosis, but for Art the Clown.
Oh my God, he was like Kendra, being in love with her therapist.
I tried to start watching that whole series to find out about that, and I was like, I can't do it. Actually, I can't actually learn about AI psychosis because I think it'll just kill me. It'll be the nail in my coffin, the final nail. Okay.
Wait. Sorry. Okay, so
No,
is
okay.
what's being posited that Art was a human serial killer up until he dies in the first Terrifier movie, and then he's resurrected 1 year later? And that's the events that we see in this movie, and that's sort of
No.
also when we saw him.
No, this movie begins in the exact seconds of the ending of
Right,
the
because
last
the morgue.
movie.
But then
Because they
I
smashed
get
the doctor's
confused.
face
Yeah.
to smithereens.
I get confused because in the first one they did the whole timeline reveal of being like, oh, the girl is from the attacks 1 year ago, and what we're seeing is actually what happened 1 year ago. And you see him watching the TV where she's doing the interview, And you see that again in this one with, I think the little girl is watching the TV at one point with Molly Brown on it. So it's hard for me to keep track of the timeline
So
exactly, because we see him in the moments after he's resurrecting in the morgue, which is right after the attacks in the first one, but also it's 1 year later because Molly Brown just got her face ripped
It's
off.
very confusing.
it's like he's
they make it
immediately
confusing.
resurrected, and then it's like a year later.
He's immediately resurrected, and he goes to
To the laundromat.
and that part
Which
is
I
a year
liked.
ago.
Yeah.
I liked that part too. I liked the like subtle thing where
I don't know how I
see,
feel about
like,
seeing his
the-
body though.
Yeah, right. He's like sitting there like that, and he's
I
like
liked it.
laughing with the pale girl, and the other guy's just like, "What is going on?"
I have no problem with
like-
seeing his body, but it raises questions for me about the nature of his existence. And was he once a human person? Is he a demon that is human shaped?
I think
What's
he was
going on?
once human, but he was imbued with a crazy clown power that is beyond our comprehension. But I like the part where, like, right before he walks out, you see the mop fall over and it's broken off at the top, and you're like, huh, interesting. And then it's like, shoved up that guy's fucking head.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. That's the comedic gore I'm looking for. I went, hee hee ha ha. That's funny. Good amount of
One
blood
thing
there,
I did
too.
like from Damien Leone is that he had the idea to have this little girl character. And originally she wasn't going to have the design that she does have in this movie, where she's kind of like a mini art, or within the art family, I suppose. She was going to be wearing like a sundress with flowers or something like that. And it was going to be more. Yeah, it was. And by the way, I thought the glasses were going to be a way bigger part of this movie based on the way that they have exploded into the zeitgeist. And they're
It's the
just there
funniest
for
part.
1 second, and they're not even the only pair of glasses.
I really thought
but-
I personally like the hand ones better.
I liked the
There-
eyeball
look.
one where he was like,
Yeah. But the flower sunglasses sure made their mark on everybody, I guess, despite the being there for 2 seconds. But they are the first ones you see, so fair enough. But she was supposed to have a more traditional sort of spooky child appearance, and I suspect it maybe would have been more clear that she was that little girl that got murdered if she looked more like a regular little girl. But then, because art as a costume and as a pop culture moment was so everywhere, and he saw lots of like women and little girls dressed up as art too, he decided to sort of give them their own art version as well. So that's how she became this sort of also small Terrifier clown creature, as opposed to just spooky ghost child or whatever.
And she's also like a reflection of art.
His inner child,
Yeah.
who is a little girl.
He's a demon.
Trans icon, Art the Clown.
He has that moment in the first one where he's trying on the boobs.
Gender fluid.
Oh yeah, gender fluid.
And I think David Howard Thornton would support that.
Seems like it. What was I gonna say? Okay, the thing is, especially with what you just said, like they are doing fan service here, and that's nice. You know, fan service can be annoying, but it can also be like give the people what they want, and he's doing it. I don't know if they wanted a like fucking extra hour of like vibey backstory, I guess, but you know, they got it, and people loved this one, and they loved it even more than the first one. Like the response to this one is fucking crazy. People go nuts for it, and I'm happy for them, and I want everyone to have a nice time, and they did, and good for them, and that's so wonderful. It's just very beautiful.
I liked Sienna and her friends and their storyline. I liked the stuff with Jonathan. I liked the family nature of the storytelling for them. And like I said, I really thought the dad was going to be art in some capacity, and they were going to figure out how to do that.
It still
I
could
think
be.
that's so true. Still could be.
Still could be.
And if I'm predicting that right now and I'm right, I'd like
Slay.
my flowers when the time comes.
I'll give them to
Chelsea's
you.
like, I want Damien Leone to apologize to me personally.
Well, I don't know that he would need to apologize if I called it, but also if he only gets the idea from me saying this, then he needs to apologize because clearly he's out there listening, responding, engaging, for
God.
better or for worse sometimes. But I think they were doing some interesting stuff. I think there was more that could have been done with the dad aspect of it all. It was almost kind of like a side note, other than she was so focused on the character and the cosplay of it because of her grief for and love for her dad. And I thought it was nice when she had that moment with Jonathan, especially before we even understood what had happened with the dad, where she was trying to say, like, like the way that he was at the end, like that's not who he was, and he loved us and he only wanted the best for us, and he showed us that in 1000 ways before he got sick. um and so I think that that is great. But I think with him dying in a fire in his car and then having the fire in her dream and then the fire in real life, I would have loved to have seen a little bit more something to that.
Like, of all the stuff that we're told about this family, we don't go more into the dad.
Yeah. I I don't know. It doesn't sound like it. They are doing that in Terrifier 3, or you guys would be speaking up about it. Um, but I don't. I
Terrifier 3
liked
is
it.
something else.
Yeah, I liked all this stuff with her friends. That they have the conversation at lunch at school. Um, the stuff with the Jonathan at school, the
With the possum.
possum.
Which is really upsetting
That feels,
because I
yeah.
have a new outside possum that I have officially adopted. Her name is Phyllis. I love her.
God,
Hazel
congratulations.
has beef with her every time she sees him.
Oh,
I,
fuck.
I will send you adorable pictures of Phyllis and Hazel.
Please.
Okay.
Hazel looks like the bottom half of like 3 small dogs in a trench coat. Like the way the picture looks. It's very darling.
Oh my God, I want to see that immediately. Yeah, the possum part was disgusting, but I thought it was like there was a missed opportunity where Art had his hand like all the way up the possum's ass and he didn't make it like a puppet and
Puppeteer
do
it.
Yeah.
the puppet thing. And I was honestly really disappointed by that. I was
Truly
like,
missed
if we're gonna
opportunity.
go there, fucking go
Do
there.
it.
Make the
Yeah.
possum come around and go "Meow, meow, meow," and then throw it at him. That would be a very clown-like thing to do as well.
I was
Oh,
like,
it's so
I'm
cute.
curious about that scene given the larger story of this movie. It felt, I mean, the teenage boys, the preteen boys, they felt like they were being preteen boys. Like that would happen in the real world, somewhere in the world. And I think it served well to discredit Jonathan to his mom and push him out of the house. And so, it made sense for the story in that capacity. But if Jonathan only exists to lure Sienna out, I don't know. I wanted more for those interactions. I think they felt very obligatory in a way.
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe him and the little girl having some sort of more
Beef.
connection or something. I don't know. I want
Art.
but I love Brooke. I
Lola?
love Brooke. She's such a bitch. What a cunt. I love her.
At least she got to do some blocaine before she died.
She didn't
Yeah.
even want to.
But she's
It's
a
not for
cool
her. She doesn't
girl.
like it, but she'll try it. She'll try it again. She'll give it a second try.
Okay, what was y'all's like favorite of the kills or favorite part of the special effects?
I guess I liked when Allie is revealed to still be alive despite it all, and she's like, "Mom." That was fucked for sure. Um, and you know, her poor mother, but I'm built different. If it were me in that moment, I would simply spontaneously generate powers of telepathy and explode him with my mind. But didn't go that way for her, tragically.
I loved the clown cafe scene because it's just so funny seeing him with a gun. And then now he gets
Whenever
a
he
big
pulls out his
machine
gun,
unexpected.
he's such a little bitch.
Right? Because like you don't see
He's breaking
these
the
like
rules.
mythological horror people with guns, right? Like,
Mhm.
and it's just
Imagine him with a gun.
it's
You
so
can't.
funny. Like it's you're just like, oh my god, like it's so unexpected and so funny. And the fact that it's like a Tommy gun a little bit too.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just like the way that he just like goes there and that girl's singing and like all that kind of stuff, and then she gets lit on fire and she's still like singing, and he's just like do 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 do.
Yeah. I love Ricky's death because I just love the effect that they did when they cut his head like in the top of his head
Mhm.
and his eyes are still moving around and it's obviously like a fake puppet head, but they like made the eyes move. I was like, oh,
Ricky
that
was
looks
my
so
second
cool.
favorite one
I
because
really
it looks
liked
so
it.
good.
Yeah, and I just love
They
that
used
gag with the kid. I like I already said, but I love that part.
Yeah, they used like 99% practical effects, but there were like one or two moments that they did a little CGI stuff. And I think it was primarily when they were like putting an actor's eyes onto like an animatronic dummy or like a fake head kind of thing so that it could be like looking around or winking or opening an eye or whatever. I think they did
No,
that with
don't tell
Ricky
me
and with
that.
Allie.
That makes me upset
Oh,
because
sorry.
I thought they made it a cool eye puppet that moved around, and I was
They
very
might
impressed.
have. I don't know the specific moments that they're talking about necessarily.
It's okay. Okay, are there any other big points you want to hit on before we move into our segment?
Mementos? No.
I loved the circus as a set piece.
Yeah.
And I loved the Terrifier house. I don't really understand the layout of everything because it really seemed like a lot of characters were behind the scenes, but then all of a sudden they were in the house. But it is not for me to have a full map of the layout of that amusement park. So that's fine.
That is not for Chelsea to
All
know.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time to ask the age-old question: how could this movie be gayer?
Art gender fluid,
We already,
obviously.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
already there.
I think Jonathan is a gay man. I don't know why.
It's just a gut feeling.
Yeah.
I am right there with you, sister. I feel that. There's something happening. There's something happening within him that he'll find out one day.
And I think he would be the kind of gay man to have a circle of girlies who are his squad. Because when he had that moment in the classroom looking at the girl that they showed the possum to, trying to tell that it was kittens, I think that the unspoken subtext of that scene was Jonathan really trying to be like, I am sorry that these horrible straight men who have no respect for women treated you in such a way, and I didn't know how to extricate myself from that moment, but I'm not like these other guys, is what he was trying to
And the reason
beam
that
to
I'm not like
her.
these other guys is because I'm gay.
Gay.
I'm gay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And I
it.
would never both sexually objectify you while also showing you absolutely no respect at the same time. I will give you respect and also allow you to be a full person, is what he was saying with
Brooke,
his eyes.
I agree with you. Brooke is bisexual, 100%.
Yeah, but she
Brooke and
won't know
Sienna should
it.
have kissed while they were on
1000.
Molly, is what I think.
They won't
really
find out
should
they're
have kissed, and
bisexual
they should
until
have.
college, though.
But that doesn't mean they couldn't have kissed, you know? Girlies be kissing all the time without thinking anything more of it.
Yeah.
True.
Sometimes you just do a little kiss and it's okay.
I think
And it's
that
like,
if
hi,
Sienna's
hee hee
mom
hee, we're
wouldn't
drinking
have
and we're on
called,
Molly.
they would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cock block. But
blocked.
important emotional moment before her head got exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Any other gay
I
thoughts?
think that Allie's mom is one of two moms, and she has lesbian moms.
Power lesbians.
That's
so
what I've
important.
decided.
And the other one
based
was
on
just
absolutely
away
nothing.
on a business
Well,
trip or something.
Adding another layer of horror to that horrible moment. At least the other gay mom wasn't there to see it happen. So
Thank
sad.
God.
Okay, any other gay thoughts we'd like to share?
So many more gay thoughts.
I think Sienna's dad is bisexual.
Mhm. What's that mean?
Tell me
Where
I'm
it's like-
wrong.
Bisexual man
It's
go
the
down.
cop. It's like all over the thing where it's like the cop from Dexter and he's like, and you're like,
Yeah.
I know this is this, I just can't prove it.
Exactly the jokes meme.
Yeah.
It's that. It's exactly
That's
that.
us every week. I know they're gay.
And I wanted to
prove
post a
it.
jokes
It's
meme
feeling.
for another movie recently, maybe Ugly Stepsister, but I was like, this is gonna be too niche with these two things combined.
It's never too niche.
Ugly
thing we're very
Stepsister is
niche,
on
Kelsey.
all of the best horror movies of 2025 lists, so it's just about time people are gonna finally figure out that movie exists, and then they're all gonna flock to our episode on it. It's gonna be
Yeah,
crazy.
that's how it works.
That's how it works. Okay, that brings us to Matthew Lillard. Where would he go?
Matthew
in this
Lillard is
movie? And
obviously the dad.
thank God, so he doesn't have to be here.
And may
He's
he
shown.
come around in the future, though.
Yeah, in flashbacks.
That's a perfect place for him. That's perfect. I watched Scream last night on the big screen. Not on the big screen, but Paul's TV is pretty big and it's pretty close to you when you're sitting there. So it felt pretty big to me. And every time it came on the screen, I had a lustful sigh that was organically coming from my soul.
Yeah, I
And it
get
was
that.
really nice to just reconnect with my raw feral attraction to Matthew Lillard as Stu Macher. So
You gotta do it every year.
that's all I have to say in this segment. Okay, that brings us to our dumb bitch. Difficult. A lot of people do some dumb fucking shit in this.
I think it's
I don't understand how Brooke didn't
friends.
drive the car. The keys were in the ignition. She was right there and she didn't drive the car. That pissed me off. But heat of the moment, you're being stalked by a supernatural clown. What are you going to do?
Jonathan's friends, you were saying, Sydney?
Yeah, for playing with the dead possum and then
Rude.
trying to
Disrespectful.
scare that girl.
Very
First of all, we don't
disrespectful.
scare girls in this household. And second of all, we give possums love.
Yeah.
Exactly. Respect possums here. Thank you.
Sorry to stay on my beat, but I just am annoyed that Damien Leone felt like he had to go out of his way to be like, I'm not political. And it's like, why is somebody being like, gay people worked on this movie, and so don't be a fan of this movie if you hate gay people? Do you need to be like, I think Republicans are cool too?
Yeah, when you put it like that, fuck. I already agreed with you, but by the way, if you hate gay people, you can still watch the movie, but he's not gonna say that. But that's what he's saying.
But I don't know. Maybe there was more to it that I couldn't find from what Lauren LaVera and David Howard Thornton are saying that was more Trump specific. But again, if you feel the need to come out and defend Trump, that also frustrates me because it's like he's literally the president.
And he's
Clearly,
literally the worst.
lots of people. He doesn't need you to defend him. He's got a lot of supporters.
Ugh.
If you're neutral, then just say nothing.
Right?
You don't need to come
Very
out and to be
silly.
like, I'm neutral, and I think anybody should be able to give their money to the Terrifier franchise.
Thank you for taking a stand.
Capitalism.
Thank you for
Brave,
being
brave.
so brave.
Yeah, he's not dumb, Chelsea. He's brave.
I'm going to use my
Look,
platform to really
I'll
say something.
I think Republican dollars and Democrat dollars spend the same. So you guys, everybody should
You
watch
heard it here
Terrifier.
Everybody should give their money to me.
Nobody's ever had
I'll
that
take
thought
it all.
before,
My
and I'll
wallet's
say it, and I'll
open.
be the first to say it.
We all bleed red, white, and blue at the end of the day.
Yeah. Actually, we all bleed green, baby.
Okay. That was hilarious. Time for knives out of fives. Chelsea? I'm sorry, I said the wrong name.
So this movie on IMDb has a 6.0 out of 10. However, on Rotten Tomatoes, higher numbers, it has 87% fresh from critics and 81% fresh from audiences. However, I just am going to share this. This is just a hater note, not from me, but just because it's the first review that pops up on Rotten Tomatoes. It is a rotten one. Someone wrote, Terrifier 2 encourages us to view its victims the way the Nazis viewed theirs, as gruesome fodder for an experiment in pain. I just thought that was brutal. And felt relevant because they talked about Nazis in the movie. And
Wow.
that aside,
Woof.
yeah, that person
That's
clearly
Chelsea's
really hated
review.
it. That's not my review. I don't think it is. I don't think it's Nazi territory. But anyway, it didn't do like the traditional mainstream awards, but it did the runs at a lot of horror awards. And it felt worth mentioning them, highlighting them, even though I don't usually go so genre specific. But it really was a popular movie and was well received in that space. So at the 2023 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, it won Best Limited Release Film, Best Makeup FX for Damien Leone, Best Kill for Allie's Death, and Lauren LaVera won the Editor's Eyeball Award. And I don't know what that is, but sounds special. And then at the 2023 Golden Scythe Horror Awards, it was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor in a Leading Role for David Howard Thornton, Best Costume Design, Best Horror Movie Moment for the quote, first kill. And I'm not sure, I can only assume that means the morgue scene. I don't know. It was nominated as well for Best Slasher and Best Remake or Sequel, and it won Best Makeup and Hairstyling and Best Kill, but for Allie's death scene. So, like I said, that really, I think, was one of the feature moments of the film, and is one of the most impressive moments of artistry in terms of the practical effects and the SFX effects. And it also just did really well. So like Sydney said, they had about a $250,000 budget, and
Which is crazy.
Low compared to
Yeah.
other movies, to be clear.
With what
And then
they do with it,
yeah.
that's really impressive. That's really
Yeah.
impressive.
It grossed over $10 million domestically, which means it made at least a 3,900% return on its investment, which made it
Oh my God.
technically, according to IMDb trivia at least, the most profitable film of 2022. Not to say that it had the most money ever made, but that its return on investment was the
Investment, yeah.
highest.
Cool.
So that is my
Okay.
context
I'm
for
going to
the
go
listener.
first and be brief because I've already said all I need to say and I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I gave Terrifier a 3. I like this one worse. I'm giving it a 2.7. I don't plan on watching it again. It reminds me of a traumatic day in my life. But there are a lot of fun, cool things about it. They're just not necessarily for me. But it was interesting to see what happened. And I still have my question about Terrifier 3. And I'm going to talk to Sydney about it after this. I have anger.
What did I give the original Terrifier?
I have it right
You-
here. You gave it a 4.5.
Okay, that tracks because I like this one less than the first one, but I like it obviously way more than you. So I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. One, also, the Midnight, which does like all the music for this movie, is
Oh, the 80s synth I really
it-
did
like
love.
but the Midnight is one of my favorite like groups for like a long time. And so when they
That's so cool.
popped up in there, like when I teach Pilates, I'll put on one of their just whole albums and like do a whole class to like one of their albums.
That's cool. I did really like the music, and I also really liked the lighting.
The way that this movie is shot so it looks vintage is really pretty.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it
really
had
cool.
much more visual appeal than the first
Totally.
one.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of really cool visual stuff, like that whole part where she's in the dunk tank. Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick nasty.
And do I understand what was happening there? No. And do I need to?
No one
Also
knows.
She's
no.
born again
No one
like
knows.
Jesus.
Exactly.
But was he trapping her? What did he think he was doing? You know what I mean?
Drowning her.
He certainly didn't think he was putting her in the birth canal to come out once more.
No, I thought he was drowning her in a cinematic way.
I wish it gave a little bit more background, like, because I'm still confused, and you're still confused in Terrifier 3 a little bit also. And so I'm just like,
Yes.
I want, like, give me more, please, dear God. Like, I want to understand.
Her wound glows and her sword is magic
Why
wound glows
her?
and sword
because
is
she
magic.
died, or she was there was some
the
magic
sword was
inherent to her
kinda
before
magic.
that.
The sword was kind of magic before because it survived the fire. And it was a divine fire.
Yeah.
The burning bush. Is this
Yes,
related? I'm just gonna say
but
religious.
also, what was that hilt made out of? You know what I mean? Like, if it's a metal item, that it's. I mean, yes, it was right on the dresser where the flames were, but even the wall only had so many scorch marks. Like, I was not impressed by the damage that the fire created and them being like it survived perfectly. I was like that makes sense to me. I respect that it is magic and that was what was being communicated.
Magic.
But
The magic candle.
anyway, I thought the dream aspect could have been explored more, but given the timeline, I think it's interesting enough on its own. But I liked this movie more than the first one. I do miss my gay girlies. But I am interested to someday in the future watch Terrifier 3, I guess.
Christmas time. The perfect Christmas Day movie.
Yay. Like I said, I'm intrigued. I appreciate more of what they're doing here than in the first one, which just like wasn't hitting my beats personally. So I like this one better than that. It's still not really my thing, but I can see myself getting invested in Sienna specifically and what's going on with her. And so I think I'm going to give this one, I gave the last one a 3.5, which shocks me. But I think I'm going to give this one like a 3 point, my heart says 8. That feels way too high, but that's what I'm going with, and I'm just going to contextualize it with a 3.5 for Terrifier, which again, I don't know how that was what happened for me. But 3.8, I guess.
Hell yeah. Spooky, scary skeletons. Everybody's guts are coming out.
Huzzah.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we decided amongst ourselves who's announcing
It's you.
the next
It's
movie.
you.
Oh, it's me?
It's
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
It was your idea,
Well,
girl.
It was your idea.
That's so true, but
And I did
want
the
to introduce
Omen.
the one after that.
That's fine.
But I can
That's
do
fine.
both because it is again another 2-weeker. Because here's the thing. You may have seen our. Sorry, I touched my AirPod and it started playing the movie wherever I have that tab, and now it has the Clown Cafe song, and I have to hunt it
Let's
down
go
so I can
down
pause it.
to the Clown Cafe. It will
okay.
make you very gay.
I wish that was the song. I wish. Okay, I'm back, and I have my full faculties about me. Like I was saying, you may have noticed our beautiful, beautiful new episode art. drawn by Ryan Brom, in which each of us are portraying a character of horror lore. And if you saw Sydney, you might have recognized who she was. But it's a movie we've only done one movie from the franchise. And first of all, there's so much more to the franchise than I even realized. But I'm excited to get into it more because I love Tiffany. So what we are doing next week is Bride of Chucky. And I'm so excited to see more Jennifer Tilly. We need more of her. We need more of her. Thank God. What we're starting next week with what am I trying to say?
Bride of Chili.
Bride of Chili. Bride of Chucky is Jennifer Tilly TwosWeeks. So you can go ahead and take a guess at what comes after that, but I'll keep it a secret for now.
I'm so excited. I love this movie so much. I think this was the first movie night that I did with Paul, who came on for our Pink Flamingo episode. And it changed my life. I only saw it in the last 2 years, and it's so good. I wish I had seen it at a younger age. I would have found out I was gay a lot earlier, I think.
That's my thing. I'm not totally sure I've seen this movie all the way through, but I know I've seen some very important scenes on cable as a very young child and went, ooh, okay.
Oh,
gorgeous. And what a sexy doll.
What's going on there?
So I am excited to find out if I've seen it all the way through or not. And I am excited to invest further in the Child's Play franchise. Because we kind of just have skimmed the surface so far with the first movie.
We only did the first one, yeah. Well, I'm excited because Seed is also crazy.
Yeah, and we gotta go 1, 2, 3. So
yeah, gets fucking nuts. Anyway, I don't want you to forget that it's still Sydneypalooza. It's still Sydneypalooza for the whole rest of the month.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great opportunity for you to slide into our 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts and wish this beautiful bitch a happy birthday, a very clowny happy birthday. Don't sing it, but you can wish it. And it would be really, really nice, and we'd all really appreciate it. Or you can give us a 5-star rating, and we'll know that that's what it meant, that it's a birthday wish for Miss Sydney. So think about that. And also, why not follow us on social media? Then you can DM us and tell us happy birthday, Sydney. Oh my God, it's so easy. So just follow us at spooky_Tuesday. That's on everything except for Facebook and Tumblr, where we're at Spooky Tuesday Pod. Also check out our website, spookytuesdaypod.com. Find out every movie we've ever covered. It's really beautiful. Links to all of our YouTube videos too. Go on YouTube and you can see Art the Clown. Nope, not Art the Clown. What's her name? Emily, the little girl.
The pale girl. That's what she's called.
it just said Demon Girl in the subtitles.
Oh.
And so I was
on
like,
IMDb
okay,
it says
I
the
guess.
pale girl. Yeah. Anyway, whatever she may be, Sydney is her today. And Chelsea has the fucking Art the Clown flower glasses. Did you just have those?
Yeah, they're technically not the right ones because his are yellow and mine are white with a yellow circle. But I got them from my friend who works at an elementary school.
Fun.
Wow. Well, that's really beautiful. And I'm wearing a funky hat. It's unrelated, but it was inspired by Art's little hat. So there you go. But yeah, check us out on YouTube. You can see all of that. It's very beautiful and fun. And also, that's it. No, Patreon. We have a Patreon. It's really fun. We're having a great time on there all the time. Join us there for trailer reactions, exclusive content, and to join our Discord and join our cute little fam. But anyway, at the end of the day, I have to say thank you for listening, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye, spookies.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Height, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamara Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Great18. That's GR818_. And our podcast art is by Ryan Brom, who you can follow on Instagram at Ryan Brom Art. That's RyanBrommArt. Learn more about Spooky Tuesday at spookytuesdaypod.com and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday.